Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Wheeler and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons. And I'm not just talking about Dungeons & Dragons 5e, it could be any version of the game whatsoever. I don't care, why would you? So let's talk about the topic for today. The topic is, what is the absolute worst Dungeon Master taboos and mistakes that you could make as a Dungeon Master? The things you really shouldn't do. Let's start with the most obvious, as you can tell from my current condition, showing up to your game session with your players when you are sick and spreading your germs because you're like death warmed up. We want to share the experience, but we don't want to share the germs. So if you are sick, stay home. Stay home. Nobody wants your nasty diseases, so stay where you are. Thank you very much. Next on the list, this is, I would say, number one. The first one is a no-brainer, and really, being sick applies to players as well. Really, the Dungeon Master making racist jokes about fantasy races that are linked to actual races somewhere in the real world. No, not appropriate. I don't find it funny. If you find it funny, I don't know what you're thinking. Not a good thing. Number two on the list. This is one that surprisingly does actually happen from time to time, and that is a Dungeon Master allowing their player, who is their partner, that might be a girlfriend, might be a boyfriend, might be a wife, a husband, allowing them to play a high-level character, like a level 20 character, and everybody else is level 1. That's not cool. That just sucks. You're going to wind up with nobody at your table, and you deserve it. I honestly, I don't. Why would you do this, something like that? Why would you do that? But they do it. They do. It happens. This is actually the one thing. It's my pet peeve. It's the one that I really can't stand the most, and it happens constantly. Talking about rap singers with other people at the table, and they can't stop thinking about that rap singer, and they can't stop talking about that rap singer, and they can't stop talking about rap singing. Why? Not appropriate. Totally unacceptable in our society. So stop doing it. It drives me nuts. Absolutely crazy. This one. Allowing PvP between the players and enjoying the carnage. Okay, look, first off, I am not talking about PvP between the players' characters. I mean PvP between the actual players at the table. Sitting down with your popcorn and your soda and just enjoying the carnage like you're watching the original Star Wars movies for the very first time. Really bad. It's not on. Stop doing that. Not good. Thinking that a pre-made adventure made by Wizards of the Coast or any other publisher, but particularly Wizards of the Coast, that you brought was written and formatted and organized with an index so you could clearly find everything, and that was well tested. If you thought that you were buying pre-made adventures that were actually designed to be easy for you to run, no, don't think that. It doesn't work that way. It certainly never worked for me that way, so why would it work for you that way? This one is a no-brainer. Assuming that the players will do the most obvious thing or action in the adventure and that you don't have to create some sort of bizarre occurrence that will save them from utter destruction. Players don't do the most obvious things. Trolling the players by placing a useless or close to useless magic item or artifact, in particular an artifact, in a dungeon that wastes their time, curses them with absolutely no way of removing the curse ever again, and leading to their eventual destruction and death. Appalling. Why do this? You are the Dungeon Master, you've run the game, and you've misread the rules. Somewhere along the line you misread the rules and there was a TPK, that's a total party kill. That means that every player's character at the table died. And then when you find out and you tell the players and they say, well, can we play our characters then? You say, no, you're going to make a new level 1 character because there are no do-overs in my game. I don't do do-overs because that's too much like a video game. And there you wind up with a graveyard of bodies. Smacking the players on the hand with a ruler, not a wooden ruler. Sometimes wooden ruler's not so bad. It's the steel ruler that I'm upset the most about. Every time their character loses hit points to make it seem more realistic in your game. Because, you know, if you lose hit points, we want it to be as realistic as possible. We're not playing a fantasy game here. We want a simulation, the actual effect that might occur during the game. And by slapping them with a ruler on their hand, we can achieve that. The Dungeon Master killing the party's horses every single session so that they have to go and get a new mount or pay for a new mount in the game. This I dislike the most. And yeah, sure, you can say every Dungeon Master has flame-throwing cows in their adventure, and that's just how it is, and you shouldn't have been standing behind the cow when it happened, but honestly, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense whatsoever, and it's like, what are you doing? You know, you drop a fireball, flame throw, kill the horse every single time. It's like we're sitting watching an American car movie and all of the cars explode as soon as they touch something with a huge explosion. Don't do that. Bits of horses flying everywhere. It's disgusting. Horrible. This one is so devious, and I've seen it. I've seen it happen. And you think, no, it couldn't possibly. And that is using weighted or biased dice for your D20 and then rolling the dice openly in front of the players, not doing it behind the Dungeon Master screen, so that you appear completely honest as a Dungeon Master to the players. And they think you're actually being open and honest and you're not cheating. But every single roll is high, and every single roll leads to the utter destruction of their character, leading to a lot of heavy drinking, something like that. So these are the things that get my goat when it comes to the taboos and mistakes that Dungeon Masters play when playing Dungeons & Dragons with their party groups. Now, if you have any questions and feedback, please put that in the comments. That's what it's there for. I have many videos for advice for Dungeon Masters and players, and you're welcome to go and check those videos out. I have a Patreon page where you can support me, so I do more videos that are educational like this. Sort of, not really educational. And I also have affiliate links to the Book Depository and Amazon, where you can buy stuff online and I get a small commission. That helps out the channel. Now remember to make sure to hit the like button if you thought this was a very confusing video in terms of its educational content, but was slightly entertaining. And if you actually laughed, then hit the thumbs up button. If you thought this was supposed to be an educational video and you do not understand why I even made this video, then you missed the point, and it's time to hit the thumbs down button and try not to say something in the comments that's too rude. Also, make sure to share this video, subscribe, hit the bell button to be notified when I go live and when I publish new videos, because as it happens, I do quite a lot of videos, and that way you will wind up with your email being completely spammed by my channel. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s.